As the camera comes in, it finds its way down, following a droplet. The droplet finds itself surrounded by more and more droplets of water as you sweep down and through the city, past alleyways that you've become familiar with, past a noodle shop that you've become familiar with. You notice that the rain is torrential. It is downpouring. And the camera swoops through the front of what used to be Swain's junkyard, now our group's base of operations. How do we find everyone?
Patty.
Oh,
You go.
sorry. Oh my god, that felt amazing. Finally, someone is appreciating what I built. Karen, thank you for all you just did.
It's nice to get an easy return.
Indeed, indeed. Now, if only I could have access to my fucking table again so we could get some more easy returns. Oh, I know. Let's go check on Patty, see what we can get out of her. Maybe we'll know our timetable.
Patty in this moment is actually trying to set up another table to transition Jacob onto pillows and all to help like open up the space again, and then let him like ride out those last few hours. What time is it right now?
You're coming into about 2-3 in the afternoon.
All right, so we got about 9 hours and 30 minutes left. And she's probably got Troy on the other side and helping to slowly lift him up, put him on the other table, make sure nothing rustles, nothing shakes, and just slowly lifts and places him down. And she's like, all right, Jacob, 1, 2, 3, whoop! And then slowly sets him down.
Oh. Go ahead, Jacob.
I was going to say, and Jacob is currently being lifted by Patty and Troy.
And I was just about to say Troy is assisting Patty, so...
You know, sometime, Troy, you might need to teach me how to, like, properly lift the dude so I can, like, go to town on him, okay? Well, once we get this all figured out, I'm gonna fuck with Jacob. And then she helps, like, starts pushing the other table. It's got, like, the rolly wheels, and starts pushing it off to the side, kind of out of the way.
My actuators have a capacity of nearly 400 pounds. Although I suppose your technique could use some improvement.
I mean, I wasn't really... Okay.
You just got burned by a sex bot.
Is
Probably
Dalton
isn't the
just
first
watching in the
time.
corner?
Yeah, well, at least I'm getting sex.
As this is going on, Karen meanders over to the corner of the medical office room where there's the planted tree, and she reaches into her purse, pulls out her grenade, and plops it into the planter.
Are you trying to hide it, or are you just dropping it?
I'm half Karen level of being surreptitious.
All right, can I roll a disadvantage since I'm focusing on Jacob, but I want to see if I notice?
Even Krill's gonna...
Yeah.
Even, yeah, I want to make a notice check as well on that one.
That's a 0. +3, so it's 0.
Oh my god, Krill for her... Holy fuck, she's not paying attention to shit.
Krill has ADHD.
Yeah.
Probably, but... Fuck, okay, no. Krill saw her table being opened up, and that is all that she's paying attention to.
Patty in this moment is picking up Jacob, and she briefly looks at Karen, but doesn't notice the grenade, and she just kind of like gives a nod before like just fully pushing him all the way over. So Jacob's looking probably right out the last 10 hours. We got him off the medical table, so you can have that back, Krill. anything y'all need? Or are we just chilling here for the day?
I have an errand to run.
And I'm gonna keep working on making more products, since at this point, I don't see any other way of me affording the goddamn surgery. As you start seeing the micro manufacturers already start working on new frames right away.
Where'd the material from that come from?
Ah, fuck, alright. Actually, yeah. We're really low on scrap.
Well,
have
I mean,
enough
you
for a few
have
more.
scrap. I just was wondering how Krill, who doesn't have much carrying capacity, and how other people were engaged and nothing has been stated, where that came from.
Fair enough, fair enough. Krill immediately goes, and instead of turning on the table, just does a 360 and just walks into the back to grab some scrap that she can carry herself. She'll have to do a few trips, probably.
You need help?
If you're offering, absolutely.
Karen, can you keep an eye on Jacob for a second? Troy, come with me. Let's help out Krill.
Troy follows behind Patty.
You just hear this little sound of product, 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 product.
So is this table like in that open space above?
Give me a second. Not in the open space yet. It's more of like, let me pull up the map real quick. So basically, we're off to the side of the med room, so we're kind of still in it, but out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure where I'm looking to monitor our little friend. As Karen walks over and gives his left shoulder a nice little squeeze again.
Just immediate seize, but it seems he gives just a little glare at the woman, just although still delirious and tired from staying up for like, what is it, 48 hours now?
We're past 48. We are into the 62-hour range.
Oh Jesus! So yeah, no, just small glare, but just too fucking tired to say anything at this point.
It's nice to see a little flare of anger in those eyes.
All right. Patty's following along. So what are we picking up, Krill?
Alright, so, that's got a decent amount of lead in it, so we're gonna need that. That's a massive... Oh, actually, this engine block is completely fucked, Troy. Could you lift this? This is a decent chunk of material we can use.
Is it like lower than 400 pounds? Because Troy's gonna bend down and slowly pick it up, give it a little examination, just to make sure it's not gonna do what happened the last time he tried to pick up something really fucking heavy.
A cast iron bare block, small Chevy truck engine block would weigh about 200 pounds.
Okay, Troy can handle that. So Troy leans down, gets on one knee, wraps his arms around the engine block, just squeezes it to his body, and slowly rises up. And he does it with relatively little effort. It's definitely, throwing off his weight a little bit, but he's got himself secured.
Patty's got like the iron like pieces on her shoulder. It's like stretching out the ligaments right now, and she's like, it really isn't fair, the fact that I have to work for this fucking shit and you just get to be made with it.
I can lower my strength threshold if that would make you feel better.
No. Don't weaken yourself. I'm just saying this isn't really a fair thing, right? Like, it took me at least 4 months to lose enough weight to get to where I can start building the muscle. And then it took me a couple years to get there. And then you're just like, hello, I am built with the muscles.
Perhaps you should consider some augmentations.
And she stretches out those ligaments a little bit. You know, you're not wrong. I've been so focused on Jacob, I hadn't thought of it.
You could definitely increase your output of strength.
Yeah.
Nearly 5-fold.
Yeah, I feel like if I go with like getting rid of the cuffs and then adding in like cybernetic ones, that could really help me out. Like I don't want to go too cybernetic, but like maybe a little boost would help.
You could potentially exceed my maximum threshold.
What's your max?
About 395 pounds.
What's your squat?
My squat?
Yeah.
I do not technically have an upper limit for squat.
Rena, can I talk to you?
So you're telling me we got to try it out sometime?
Are you requesting a sexual interaction?
No. So, you know, Troy, like a lot of motherfuckers, as they're like walking back towards the medical lab, a lot of motherfuckers like to work out, do weights, that kind of thing. And what I want to do is take you to the gym and then see where your range is, see where like your maxes and the different types of skills are.
You're requesting to figure out my maximum range for lifting with my legs.
With your legs, your arms, and different parts of your body. So you can go power cleans, you can go basic bench press, squats. Hell, we could do deadlifts.
Troy, don't get sucked into this. You're gonna have to do so much work.
Hey, don't you complain. We're gonna hit up the gym one day once we get you more weight burnt off, okay?
All of my
I'll never
structural,
burn off enough.
all of my structural servo motors and actuators are limited to about 395 pounds.
Well, in one capacity, but it's good to test out the types and the ranges within, right?
I am capable of the same range as any average human build.
No, actually, you are a bit beyond that, my man. Kai, what is the average human lift range in terms of like NSF?
I mean, it would be an interesting question because given that not everybody opts for the same augments and not everybody's augments are oriented towards strength and not everybody even augments, you would probably see the same distribution that you would normally see amongst like weightlifters and athletic types that you would see in normal society. People opting for that directionality, it would just the number would get dragged north only because the upper limits on the augments would be higher than the standards and it would be easier to obtain. So I'm going to tell you that, and I mean, maybe a median might be like just across the population, something like 75, 100 pounds of like just picking something up and lifting it. Now, as far as like a dead squat or a leg lift sort of scenario, who knows?
Yeah. Patty's just like, actually, normal fucker in NSF, not even lifting like 3 times that amount. And she sets the iron stuff down. And you honestly are like hitting up the ranges of like decently augmented people, but not like super augmented, you know, like enough to start building up but not enough to hit that top peak.
So it doesn't mean upgrades are not out of the question, mind you, Troy. Your potential is, one could say, limitless.
I would not be able to increase my strength without upgrades.
I mean, I guess that's one benefit is you can lift the engine block easily, like you can't grow beyond it.
No,
Yes,
I am not capable of increasing my strength naturally like a human body could.
Is it possible to Krill?
Is it possible to exercise robotics? No, it is not.
But aren't there some stuff out there like I know you've heard the rumors, right? Like in like workout spaces, like there's those talks of like synthetic, I think it's the word, synthetic muscles. So that's what I've heard, but
You see Krill kind of freeze a little, looking at you. I am very aware of these scientific breakthroughs. One could not afford them at this point.
that's fair, but it is
Artificial biomass is what you're talking about, and let me tell you, that doesn't come cheap. It's not impossible, but we're not talking anything in our price range nor the material range. Those are basically artificial cells from the ground up.
Addie has slightly tuned Krill out. She's kind of listening, kind of not, as she's gauging Troy and she's thinking about it. Yeah, that would be cool. We get you some of that in the different joints and the muscles.
Hey, it's wet up outside. Whatever you're doing now, cease it.
What? Oh, sorry.
The inner lining of my oral cavity is made out of an artificial biomass.
Is it possible to replicate that?
We do not have the machines to replicate it, but it is not impossible in any way, shape, or form. But our micro manufacturers are not micro enough to do that work.
Oh well. I guess it's something to think about.
Something to consider in the future.
Mm-hmm.
The go-to ways is nanobot construction.
Yeah, Patty is still like looking at Troy like a little excitedly, and she's like, you can almost hear the background noise of like a super strong Troy just lifting stupid amounts of weight, and she's like, yeah, but she just drops it.
Troy's just kind of standing there, engine block in hands, just going, why is everybody looking at me?
Oh wait, you can put down the engine block now.
No, please take it to the other room first.
We're in the other room. We're in the lab room.
We were supposed to be walking while we were talking.
Okay, from my perspective, Troy picked it up and Patty just kind of got horny and like had to.
No, she said this. I said that as we were walking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for the purposes of establishing some order in my universe, we have a series of tasks that everybody wants to accomplish. This I'm aware of. Dalton wants to hawk a car. Karen wants to speak to someone. Krill wants to get an upgrade / work on things that allow her to get upgrade. Troy would probably like to go play somewhere. Whether, without tipping any hands, whether Jacob wants to do anything or not is still up to Jacob. Patty just encircling the group.
Patty's like waiting on a ping on the board so far, but nothing yet.
So, for purposes of establishing some sort of narrative structure going on here, who's going to do what in what order? Work on that narration. You guys have individual things you want to do, start talking about those things to each other.
Hey, Dalton.
Big-
Honey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to run an errand a little bit later.
Yeah. I
Are you
heard
gonna be
mention
around?
that. Yeah.
Okay. I probably just need to be dropped off. I can likely get home myself, but it would be nice to get a ride.
Yeah. No problem. I don't mind leaving the engine running and waiting, but yeah, if you got something to do, I can drop you off there.
Beautiful.
You mind giving me and Jacob a ride home too? I feel like we can wait out these last few hours and then you can just pass right the fuck out. But it's up to you if there's room.
I got the room if we got the time. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Dalton's like visibly kind of distracted by his phone.
You know what? I'll take care of myself. I'll be fine. I'll get my own ride.
Oh, are
Y-
you sure? I
there's-
can probably do it.
There's room in the car.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Can Patty roll an empathy roll to see what's... Yeah, she's gonna roll an empathy roll. I got a +1. Do you want to hide, Karen?
You would notice that Karen's attitude distinctly shifted when you said both you and Jacob wanted to go for a ride.
I think the total was a +5, so she would be feeling a vibe of... Patty doesn't say anything, but she's going to send a small text through her codex and saying, "You still pissed at us for fucking up?"
I may not be necessarily pissed. And this is in text return. But I'm just gonna play it safe.
Alright. Patty just sends back, "Alright, well, be safe. P.S. Sorry for fucking up, and if there's a way I can help, I'll help."
Karen texts back a hand and a poop emoji.
Patty's just looking at the poop emoji and she's very confused. Okay. And she puts it away as she's starting to get Jacob set up. She's like, "Hey Jacob, we're gonna be heading home.
And only being slightly aware of what's going on, he's like, actually, he just perks up a little bit. And at this point, brain scrambled, but it's starting to finally stabilize. And he goes like, wait. We need to hit up a Ripper, Doc. I can't fucking sit like this. Fucking...
Why?
Do you know anybody? I need fucking something to get me through this.
We do absolutely know where Ripper Doc is. Krill says, looking at being at the table just behind you.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I need to look. I'll
You got the
I'll
cash
work
for it?
I'll work
Yeah.
something out with him. Well,
On what world can you afford that?
just look, get me there. Fucking, it'll work out. I promise.
Patty shoots Krill a look, but like, what the fuck?
Krill's face can't emote, and even you can feel the what the face return to you.
Does anybody wish to establish communications or look this place up or any sort of thing? Or are we planning on just
Krill's
rolling
got
through?
Now, Krill's gonna check its sight first. She knows its location, so she can at least go through the shards.
Well,
Shards
the shard
web
has its own directory. Like, it has its own contact list and, map, basically, and facilities directory on the net.
So Krill's just fingers in the air, working on her internal HUD. And, alright. Got their contact info. Should I call to let them know we're coming at the very least?
Sure.
That was
to
the
that?
question for Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in character.
Okay.
Yeah, you should probably give them a heads up. They might be asleep right now.
Alright, ringing them up. Ding 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 ding.
Thank you for calling SMF, the Shard's premier medical facility. If you are experiencing an emergency, please disconnect and contact your contracted emergency services provider. Or, if you are on site and contracted with SMF and are willing to accept emergency charges, please transmit medic now. Please listen carefully to the menu as the options may have changed. To schedule, reschedule, or cancel an appointment, please transmit scheduling. To request a copy of your digital records, please transmit records. To speak with a nurse, please transmit nurse. For all other inquiries, please transmit other now.
Schedule. So much.
Is this on speaker? Oh my god.
Let's take a quick piss.
I appreciate you so much.
I love you.
And even though it's really not Krill's beat, you still see her just kind of shaking a little back and forth to it. The speakers in her head are loud enough that everyone in the room can hear them.
As usual.
We'll be on hold for a while, I guess.
Thank you for calling SMF. This is Terrence. How may I help you?
Hello there. We would like to inquire about scheduling an appointment with the Ripper Docs, with your local medical facility at the Shard.
Oh, you'd like to see Doc Mac? No problem. Let's see. Let me check the schedule. Is this a pressing matter, or would you like to schedule something out in advance?
Pressing, yes. Emergency, no.
Okay. He's got a patient in right now. The fight's got a little bloody this afternoon, but
Understandable.
he does have an opening. Is this a consultation, or do we need treatment?
It will be for treatment. Potentially a consultation afterwards if there's opening, but for now we just need treatment.
Okay.
Don't forget to get it for Jacob too.
What do you think? Like, Krill just mutes with them for a millisecond. What do you think I'm talking about? I'm not eager for myself. Unmutes back with
I
her.
thought you were doing it for both.
Just like the hand gestures of shut the fuck up. She can hear you.
Is this for multiple patients? Do I need to book multiple appointments?
One consultation for a separate patient, treatment for another, yes.
Okay.
Treatment is more pressing. If we can't get a consultation today, that is not as
let me
big
check.
of a deal.
I'll be right back with you.
Thank you. Patty, what the fuck? Can you just give me 2 fucking seconds?
Well, I just wanted to make sure we got both of you on the check. That was it. Sometimes I forget that I need to do 2 things on the fucking call, and then it takes 20 minutes to get them back. So I was just trying to help you out.
So, for anyone listening at home, my favorite thing about these, if you do not mute while on hold, they get a full recording of whatever the fuck you're saying. Friendly reminder, you're always recorded on an automatic service.
Okay, I can fit a treatment in at 4 p.m. today. Depending on how long the treatment runs, I might be able to squeeze in a consult with Doc Mac afterwards.
That sounds absolutely perfect.
Okay, who should I be booking these appointment names under?
Okay, so the first one will be under Jacob, and then you just hear Jacob, what the fuck's your last name?
It's gonna be Fritz.
Jacob Fritz?
Okay, one Jacob Fritz. What are we treating Jacob Mr. Fritz for today?
Seems to be a heavy concussion and looking like it's the kind that one is not getting. Oh, and a rotator cuff was pulled.
Okay, we have
Horn,
head
pardon me.
trauma and rotator cuff. Okay. And yes, who are we doing the consult for?
That will be for me. And Krill just pauses for a second. And in her HUD, you see 1,000 names that she has tried writing out for how she would put her full name. And it's just running through them like, oh, fuck, this is the moment I have to pick. Krillian Vosk. Vosk.
Krillian, can you spell that for me? I'm sorry.
Krillian Voxk.
Okay. And any specific thing or just a general consultation with the doctor?
We will be discussing a brain transplant into a androided body.
Providing or purchasing?
Body already provided.
Okay. Do you have the model on that replacement body?
God knows people.
I'm talking to myself. I have it written down. I'm just trying to remember what page it was.
The UANRFBAU 4.2 Arabella Astra Net Running Full Body Augment.
Net Runner
Augment.
Yes, Uradella Astra. That's a good piece of equipment. All right. I have you in for a waitlisted consultation with Doc Mac after your friends, your associates, 4 o'clock treatment for severe head trauma and torn rotator cuff. Okay.
Thank you very much.
We will see you then.
Appreciate your services. Have a wonderful day. Boop. All right, that's all
Hello.
scheduled. We have. Huh?
Oh, I was going to say hi, Krillian.
Is it stupid?
No, I love it. It's amazing. It's perfect for you.
I don't have a legal name, and I haven't been to a doc before. Not one on the books. So, yeah. Kind of on the fly, had to pick from my scatterbrained ideas.
I am not programmed to find names, stupid.
But you definitely find names stupid, right, Troy? Like, they do exist.
I would need a clearer definition of what is a stupid name.
Something you don't like.
That is extremely subjective.
I do not
Yes.
know what I like and do not like when it comes to a name.
Troy, you're a person. You're going to like and dislike things. Start doing that for different things.
And a person develops these over years of experiences interacting with them, not off of the cuff thoughts
I don't
about.
need. Well, excuse you. Humans do like and dislike off the cuff all the time. All right. Like the minute fucking Jacob started talking, I was like, man, he's a little nasally.
Sorry, I'm just gonna ignore that IRL shade. All right. Well, that is only lessening my standards for humanity. Thank you, Patty. I thought I had a bit more hope there.
I thought me having my panic attack and breakdown would indicate there are no standards for humanity.
There's no standards for you. That I learned long ago.
All right,
Troy, I have
well,
a question for you.
Yes, Krill.
Does the name Troy resonate with you at all?
Troy
As an
kind of actually goes
individual.
quiet for a little minute. And you just see his eyes sort of kind of flicker back and forth. And after about a second, usually Troy is pretty quick to answer. It took him a second. He just states, I don't know.
These are things that we have to ask ourselves over time.
I had not considered changing my name.
Patty is starting to help Jacob like get ready, shipped up, make sure he's got his shoes and everything together. Have you considered the name Joby?
No, I have not. Of what significance is Joby?
Why not?
Would you like to call me Joby?
I don't care. I was just throwing a name out there for you just to see if you felt it or something.
I do not feel anything towards Joby or Troy.
These are things we will learn in time when and if you ever have preferences about these, Troy.
Perhaps I will set a processor cycle to considering a new name.
I mean,
You may, if that is something you wish to at least investigate in yourself.
Patty wasn't always my name.
It wasn't?
No. When I was born, my parents called me Chris.
That is unfitting of the person I know.
Yeah, after I got my whole thing done, I hit up my mom. I was like, "What name would you have given like me if I were a girl?" Right? And she went with Patricia, and I was like, "Okay." And I went with Patricia, and then somebody started calling me Patty one day, and I threw up on the fucking first job I went on, and so like. They're like, "Oh, you're Upchuck Chris," but now they're like, "Oh, it's Upchuck Patty," because I eat a lot of protein, so hamburgers or sometimes that, and they're like Upchuck Patty. So if you call me that, I will fucking kill you. But yeah,
I want to ask a real question. Is Karen in the room? Did Karen
yeah.
just hear Patty explain her childhood bullying? Well, adult bullying?
I didn't want to leave yet. Nope.
No, Patty knows everyone's in the room. She's just laying it all in the front there.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, well, the last person who called me Upchuck Patty got his nose broken, so.
So you chose your new name based upon your habit of throwing up on your first day?
No. Oh god,
You
did
seem
I?
to have made a positive correlation between these things.
I know, I like Patty, okay? Like, I'd read in a textbook one time, there was like this guy, his name was like Patty or something, and I don't know, like, when I was going by Patricia, right? And I was like, that's kind of like nice, it's like cool. And so I started, and then somebody else started calling me Patty because they're like, "Oh, Upchuck Patty," and then kind of just stuck. But it's just kind of me now.
Okay. Krill just pushes one last button on the table, and all the scrap they brought starts getting deconstructed into its raw components, something that will take some time. She's ready to go whenever. Alright. Space blanket pulled over her. let's get going.
I have a logistics question. I know what Dalton intends to do, what Dalton needs to do, right? But you don't have that vehicle. I think you know my question.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Continue as you were.
Patty is starting to help Jacob up and help escort him out. Like, all right, we're heading to the Ripper Duck, dude.
Jeez. Oh, this is gonna cost me a fucking fortune.
Wait, you're paying for this?
Look. I'll fucking I can hit up some people. Don't worry about it.
Where the fuck do you have those connections?
Just trust me on this, okay?
You been holding out on me, bitch?
Always keep a personal stash.
Fucking asshole. And she takes her sunglasses and puts it on Jacob this time. Alright, gotta keep your eyes covered.
Yeah. All this fucking neon.
What car are we getting in?
Yeah, I was about to ask. Are we waiting on Krill? Where's Dalton?
Dalton's
Last-
sitting in the kind of like the back corner of the room.
Is there enough space?
Oh yeah, I still got the car for carrying Krill, so we're good.
Alright. Cool. Patty starts slowly setting Jacob in.
It's even got trunk space.
That vehicle's not parked outside. You drove back to this facility in your hyper race car. And
What?
the van is parked underneath that Patty took. And the other vehicle is parked down the alleyway out where it can actually fit to park.
Okay, so our truck, our what Magna lifted truck is down the
Yeah.
alleyway then?
No, the van, the big old renovated van, is in the underground.
No, not that one. The one we used in the last episode to deliver the guns and such.
That wasn't, that was a car.
That was a car?
Yeah.
But it had... Oh, I thought it was a truck. All right.
It was described as guns going in the back of the trunk.
Yeah, and it was like gyroscopic, so it didn't bounce people around as much.
So
Could it
it's
still fit all of us?
it's just parked down there.
Which, as long as you can walk a little bit, Krill, we can get you there.
I've got a peg leg. I will manage. I'm just worried about the water.
I can't do anything about that.
Patty just takes off her jacket and kind of just sets it over Krill to help a little bit. Here you
She's
go.
already got a space blanket, so the extra... So it's just all getting extra layers at this point.
Yep.
Give me a roll, Krill.
Ah, fuck. No. No. It's -2 on the die. Oh, my fragile baby.
Might I suggest one of the table umbrellas that can be acquired outside?
Is Jiku okay with that? Don't steal one.
He's been fine thus far. Those umbrellas have wandered. Then what I'm going to say is Krill steps outside and very quickly begins to experience water. And given the torrential nature of the downpour occurring now, Crow very quickly steps back inside to meet Troy's suggestion.
Yeah, Troy, please help. Help.
That sounds like it hurts.
It does. A lot of things are not working and arcing where they shouldn't be arcing.
I got a heater if you need to like evaporate some water, and she starts like pulling some from her bag.
Troy's just checking to make sure that his waterproof beanie is nice and secure, and he walks out and finds the umbrella that he left by the door because of the last time that he had this happen. Grabs it and brings it back in, and is just handing it to Krill.
Thank you. I think that last sap evaporated the last of it. Okay. Krill walking to the door frame, opens it up, and immediately creates a barrier between her and that water.
Jacob, you stay under the other side of the umbrella so the rain doesn't fucking just slap you in the face.
He's just walking along, just holding on to Patty where he can. Doesn't even reply.
Yep.
Space blanket was inefficient.
Dalton, question.
Yeah.
What if you take the super special car you got, and then we take the other car?
Counter question. Which one of you can drive? I guess it's not a giant bachelor pad apartment truck, so if you think you can take it, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Are you also not capable of chauffeuring programs?
I have a basic driving program, yes.
Between the two.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Hey, here, catch. Dalton just throws the keys between Patty and Troy.
Oh, so we're checking reflexes now.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, okay.
Reflex mode. Athletics. That's a +4. Yeah! Patty
I have
just
a
instantly...
-2, but I have +2 to my athletics, so that's a 0 for me.
Patty just snatches it out of there. Haha, suck it, Troy.
All right.
I did my best, Troy.
It's not that Troy is slower than Patty. It's that Troy doesn't realize the sort of bro-esque ramifications of the toss of the keys.
Yeah.
And just watches them sail like in sort of
Interesting.
What an odd gesture.
Was I supposed to do something?
Nah, you're good, Troy.
Yeah, I'm the real bro. Alright, well, Patty starts setting Jacob in the car and starts getting him all set up.
How far away are we?
Krill, you got an address?
Yep. And she just sends it straight to your codex.
Cool. How far are we out, Kai?
you're going to the shard.
And the
Oh,
It's a shard.
that's fair. Let me pull up the map real quick. We're right here, and the shard. Trying to re-navigate. It's here somewhere. I can't. Oh, I see. I found it. Yeah, we could just hit a straight road and pretty much go all the way down and take a right. We'll be good.
Just don't get pulled over. You're not exactly on my insurance. Also, this car is not exactly legal.
Then why the fuck do you? Okay, whatever.
I'm sorry, Patty. Are you under the impression I bought all these cars?
I was under the impression that if you're going to be driving like a madman, you at least have some of them.
Hey, what are you mad about?
All right. Patty gets Jacob set in, and Pearl, you want to take the front?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Phil
We'll-
immediately does a finger point, puts it into the music, and
No, don't be loud. We cannot blow his eardrums out right now.
fine. Just the bass makes the world go better.
I
You
get that.
just see with her hand that can do full 360 rotation. She just spins the volume down to the right spot.
Yeah.
And there's a very quiet, heavy EDM bass booming kind of song going at the most smallest values they can.
You okay, Jacob? You doing all right?
I'll be all right. Let's
Cool.
just get there.
Patty like leans back from the front side. We'll see y'all later then.
I just want to point out, when Patty sits down in the car, Dalton's seat is like way back.
Patty just
Dalton's
Patty's got,
canonically
like-
short too.
Patty's got like really long legs, but like a shorter torso, so she has to like push it up, and like her knees are now kind of like stuck in. She's like, "All right, here we go." She turns the ignition. Is it not a manual? Please don't be a manual.
No, this is a super updated one. When you turn the ignition, it like lifts.
Okay. Okay, this is more my speed. I'm good. And she
Before they drive off, Dalton pulls up next to the parked car in the supercar. Hey, don't get any scratches on it.
I don't plan on it.
Okay, am I following you, or are you gonna try to follow me?
Are we going the same place?
I don't know. I'm just messing with you. Bumps super loud E EDM.
All right.
There's Krill you can see Krill bopping to what Dalton's got, no, like completely ignoring what's in her car.
Okay, I need a drive check from both of you.
Here we go. A +1.
+2.
Dalton, you proceed as usual. Perfectly competent driver. Patty,
She's still nervous.
when-
but she's a little more comfy.
when you turn, when you take that first turn onto the road and you press the accelerator, the water on the road is thick, and so the wheels start to skip a little. They lose traction intermittently.
Oh, I do not like that. We are going a lot fucking slower. Okay. Get ready for the next 30 minutes, guys.
Dalton, where would you like to head?
So I think Dalton wants to go meet up with more old race people to see about getting into more work and doing more races around the city. See if there's anything he can do to up his stock in the race market or reignite it.
Okay, you can do that. Moderately. Okay. All right. All right. That was my question too, Caboose. That was my question too. But that's okay. Directions have been chosen. Would you like to? Yes.
Stop by.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, all right. That's fine. We can do that instead.
I mean, definitely still gonna like bring that up with the chop shop. Those that whole world's interconnected anyway.
Alright. So I will ask that again. Where would you like to go?
To the chop shop.
Okay. All right. So, Chop Shop, Squeaky's pre-owned vehicles there. It's on the far side of the industrial zone 2. It's an area you guys in this campaign yet haven't really explored much. It's closer to like Boom Goes the Firewall sort of territory of town. So you're looking at sort of the north side of the peninsula, or left as your map was oriented. And so yeah, it'll take you a couple of minutes to head on over there. You would transit through Zone 1, and I mean, it is sleeting down rain. It is, due to like heated convection currents in the sort of post-climatological catastrophe Earth. When rain rains, it rains in this day. And so it is coming down, especially on the West Coast, especially up in the Bay Area, right? The city has actually been built up and elevated. What was ground level or sea level is no longer ground level for NSF. They've sort of flooding proofed the city to a certain degree. There's been a lot of pump systems employed for the underground as well. So we yes. So as you go, there is a very heavy drainage system to the road beds. They compensate, and they can compensate for the water, but to a certain extent, sloped areas especially pick up water. But they're all made of a concrete mix that actually drains through. Water doesn't run on the surface of this. It is a permeable mix, and so it does actually transit through the road surface. And so they don't have to worry about too much buildup when engaging in that. As you go, you see advertisements, the holo ads, of course. You're going through the commerce section to a huge degree. And so you see a few things as you go by. You see the new Taylor Designs winter collection coming soon ad on the billboards. You see advertising for a new high cost of living, high rent sort of high rise that's being opened soon down in the Lakes District, which is sort of the inland ponds area that used to be, that have been dredged out
Goddamn
a little
feds.
bit.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Recording's intact. You see some of the high-end apartment complexes that are being opened down in the Lake Districts that used to be like sort of the inland ponds that have been dredged out and increased in size, where some of the like upper middle management like to locate themselves and network and that sort of thing. You see an advertisement for an art show this Wednesday, the Pierre Genet art show in the commerce section, closer to the well. And so you make your way as it transitions from the commerce section into the industrial section. Of course, you start to see, advertisements now for more industrial-oriented things on the holo ads. You start to see advertisements for new vehicle prototypes for heavy hauling. You start to see advertisements for transit systems that low orbit transit systems to move your goods in a more efficient manner, that sort of thing. As you eventually pull up, there's a lot. It is a lot of respectable size as you pull up into it, but economical size because land is at a premium. So there's only a few vehicles that are sort of put out in front, and that sort of like they're trying to like show off sort of situation. There's a sign, a hollow sign, of course, for Squeaky's previously owned vehicles. And as you pull up, there is sort of an overhang area that has 2 lanes. And there's a showroom, again, economically sized showroom, but there's a couple of cars put in the showroom that, are sort of that are probably owned by the dealer ownership rather than for sale, that are just sort of there to show off the establishment's, prestige, as it were. What do you do?
Dalton's gonna. So this is like the outside of the chop shop, or like getting into that area?
No, it is it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna pull up. Yeah, I guess to the front.
Okay.
Get out of the car and head inside.
Okay.
Try to be. I don't want to pull the car around just yet. Want to meet.
As you do, a person comes out and hi there. Happy to have you today at Squeaky's previously used vehicles, owned vehicles. Can I help you?
Yeah, actually, I'm here for a drop off.
Yes. Have you scheduled that with any of our sales people?
No, but it's kind of a special favor. I used to be around here very often, and I'm pretty sure I know your I know the owner. I'm hoping for a little bit of a favor.
Okay. Hold on. I'll get somebody for you right quick. As he does, a line comes down the middle of the screen, and on the other half, we see Troy back at base. Troy, what are you doing?
Is Karen still there, or is Troy all alone now?
Heron, as soon as they left, was checking the sorry, scratch that. I don't need to check that. Yeah, Karen was going to tell Troy as soon as they left, I'm gonna be heading over to the Lost Innocents Club. If I don't come back, that's where I'll be. Then he basically walks out right behind the other people.
And Troy gives his usual polite nod and acknowledges Karen and says his little goodbye as she leaves. And now that Troy's all alone, he starts doing his usual typical chores of just making sure things are all tidy. But he's got something playing in his mind as he's doing this. The net running session that he did over at Lost Innocents. It's just kind of going over his head. His first couple of successes and his failures, and he's feeling weird about that failure he had. He's not sure how he feels about that. And he wants to know more. What should he have done? What can he improve? And unusual for Troy, not that anyone's going to notice there, he doesn't complete any of his typical chores of keeping things neat and tidy. Instead, he just jumps straight into the net.
Okay. What's that look like?
So Troy was standing in the middle of the room, just kind of dusting with a broom around the little operating table. And he just kind of stood there for a moment. And the camera inside just sees Troy with the broom in his hands go stiff. And Troy, as we zoom into Troy, we see him logging onto the net and his avatar materializing on the net in the port. And he brings up his little search thing, and he searches up Club 226. Club 2600. And follows along the usual path, finding the little alleyway with nothing there, and steps through the void.
As you do. What you find is Club 2600 with the music bumping, the artificial DJ going, the lights going in the background. There's a couple of small groups scattered around the club. There's a group of people in the sort of like far side over by the DJ's booth that are sort of collected around talking to each other. Rez is off to like just sort of adjacent to the bar, but not quite at the bar. There's someone of younger appearance, a younger sort of dreads, black kid. He's got a couple of samurai swords on him. It's an interesting avatar. You take note. Grim is at the bar. He is ensconced in his world. Passerby is up holding court in his booth on the top deck.
Does that mean he's talking with people right now or something?
He is communicating. There doesn't seem to be anyone at present with him.
What's Rez doing?
Rez is standing there talking to some young kid whose avatar includes a pair of swords.
Oh, okay. Troy, seeing as Rez seems to be a little less preoccupied, Troy walks up to Rez. He's just going to get a little brief on the conversation, though. He's not going to interrupt anything just yet.
Rez is sitting there, not sitting there, but she is standing there with the patience of a maternal patience. And you gather very quickly that this person she is with is actually probably close to the age that the avatar actually is. They seem a bit on the young side due to what is easily perceived to be youthful enthusiasm. And he is excitedly telling her about how you have to understand, Rez. No, it was so fucking badass. I went into this fucking server and they had all sorts of programs and sentry programs, and I just went fucking flying in, just busted right in, and just shing, just start slicing them down left and right. And Rez is like, yes. And you didn't think at all to not get caught? Nah, man, that's not my job. That's not my gig. I went in there and just fucking chopped off heads. Fucking, I just laid waste. This is why you have your name, isn't it? Yeah, hell yeah. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna handle business. She's like, okay. She catches sight of you, and she goes, hang on, Exile. Troy, have you met our excitable young member here?
No, I have not. This person is new to me.
Oh, this should be interesting. Troy, meet Exile. Exile, meet Troy. What's up, man? How you doing?
Greetings, Exile. I am called Troy. And Troy just extends out his hand in the typical handshaking greeting gesture thing that the humans do.
He grabs it, pulls you in, and like immediately starts pulls you right up to his chest, starts patting you on the back.
Troy's pretty shocked by that. He's still getting used to the whole fact that there's sensation on the net for him.
It's like, what's up, man? How you doing?
Are you a net runner like Rez is?
Nah, man, I'm a digital samurai. I'm out here in the streets fucking just not even taking names, just laying waste.
Troy just looks over to Rez for a little clarification as what the hell a digital samurai is.
Yes, Troy, he is a net runner. He just fancies himself a certain style, that's all.
A style?
Yeah, man, you gotta have a little flavor about what you're doing.
That is an interesting concept.
I mean, look at you. You're just basic, man. Why don't you put some flavor on this thing?
What would your suggestion be?
I don't know, man. Use your own imagination. I don't know, just something other than this white bread shit you got going on.
My own imagination. I am technically not equipped with imagination, although I do have some basic generated programming.
Man, what the fuck is this guy's deal? And he looks at Rez. And Rez just looks at him and goes, don't worry about it. We can discuss that later. As Rez says that, the music shifts. The lighting shifts. That means only one thing in Club 2600. If you look up, you can see that with each footfall and each movement, this club, this program, this daemon responds to passerby's motions, to his emotions, to his very being. This thing is in some way an extension of or connected to passerby. And so it, in an entirety, responds to him. And as he walks down the staircase, lights hit right where his feet are. The beat seemingly drops with each footfall. And he swings around the staircase, and you see him glance at Grim. And then you see him sort of reevaluate and turn his gaze at Rez. And Rez! Oh, I looked at that code that you did the other day, and let me tell you, it is amazing. I was so blown away by just the cleanness of your code. And Rez knowingly looks at passerby and goes, you only compliment me when you need something, pass. So let's just skip the niceties, out with it. What do you need? All right, look, I just got off the phone with that crazy fucking redhead. All right, look, I may owe her my life 1,000 times. And sure, she terrifies me. Okay, yes, she terrifies me. But she needs, needs, either way. Taylor Designs is apparently coming out with a winter line, and her Dyna clothes apparently need a refreshing. And I don't feel like hacking a fashion house today. So what do you say you do it? Rez is a crafty woman. Now, she knows who passerby is referring to. She knows the importance of this person in passerby's world. And she knows that it never hurts to do a favor for somebody like passerby, and by extension, somebody with the connections that that red-headed demon has. So, Rez, in her calculated infinite wisdom, unhesitatingly says to passerby, "Of course, pass. You don't. Yeah, I've got nothing going on. No worries. I got you. So just Taylor Designs winter collection, you said, right?" Yes. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, just bring it, send it, bring it back here. Either way. Yeah, just drop it in the usual location or whatever. Get it to me soon. And yeah. And he just turns away and shuffles away. The beat changing, the lighting seemingly getting less intense. The music sort of mellows out a little bit. You can feel the club get a little less anxious. Well, it looks like I have something to do. Or there's something we have to do.
Are you offering to let me accompany you?
Yes, offering. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm offering to let you come along.
Troy's face just kind of perks up a little bit, and he almost has a similar level of excitement that Exile had. That childlike kind of feeling. And Troy says, "I would highly appreciate accompanying you."
Oh man, let me come too. Come on, Rez. Come on, Rez. Let me go along too. I mean, you're taking him. Well, I suppose. And you see Rez just doing the numbers. Well, yeah. Why don't we have a little group outing? Tell you what. I think that your styles may complement each other a little bit. Tell you what, how about we have a class field trip? I will supervise, and you two can have a little field test, as it were. A little field trip with a pop quiz at the end. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Rez. Yeah. This would be great. We're gonna fucking just smash and grab some fashion house. I mean, how hard can that be?
I would be very, man, I just had it in my head. Troy turns to Exile and says, "I would be very interested in seeing the effectiveness of style."
Oh man, I'm gonna show you all sorts of style today. We're gonna get you kitted out. Come on. And as we say this, there's another split down the screen. You see, Dalton's side slide down. You need to see another, a third, the center being, the right-hand third being Troy and Exile, and sliding down the middle. What you see is Karen being dropped off right in front of Lost Innocence, and the left and right hand thirds slide out to the sides.
Not hesitating much, Karen walks up to the door. I'm assuming there's a bouncer.
There is. Hey, 1 sec to go back a ways, actually. Yes. There is a pair of bouncers there on the outside. One of them sees you approaching. Leads over to the other one. And you see him just come on in.
Thank you, dears.
As you walk in, the club is less busy. Only one stage is currently occupied. The DJ booth seems to be on some sort of automated run at present. There is a bartender in presence. The staff seem to be sort of tidying the place up from sort of a businessman's lunch sort of hour leading into the nighttime, and so they're just turning the place over. The doors to the, hollow suites and the rooms are closed, so it's difficult to tell at any given time without just paying attention for a moment as they open and close, open and close. So you do see in the back in her booth, Miss Vivian speaking with a person seated there. She leans across to them, and you can sort of see a tail end of a conversation occurring. The person gets up abruptly and doesn't seem to have been on the receiving end or at the positive receiving end of whatever just occurred, and they sort of very brusquely walk off, sort of pointedly.
Karen heads in that direction.
As you approach the table, Ms. Vivian looks at you and just
yes.
Well, I'll give you points for returning to the scene of the crime, I suppose. Would you like to have a seat?
That would be wonderful. Thank you. I suppose the most simple thing that I can do is say, I'm sorry.
Well, you see, it's difficult for me to accept an apology if I don't know what the apology is for. So,
Surrounding myself with morons is the first and foremost. But I apologize for not being upfront in the beginning. I'm used to dealing with morons and people that I cannot trust as far as I can kick them.
what did you and your associates hope to accomplish?
Well, that is the silliest thing. You were inconsequential to our ends. This was a means to an end and poorly executed and poorly thought out. We were interested in finding a way to press someone else. And it seemed like drugs would be an easy way to do so. You seem to have an issue with that. However, I agree with your interpretation of that issue, which I was not prepared for.
It would seem you weren't prepared for much of anything.
Huh, true. True. Yes, I have recently been making mistakes in thinking that I can rely on others. I'm trying to remember that that's a bad idea.
In that, we can agree. Now, do I have to worry about you?
No. I have no desire to continue with that line in the slightest. I'm not going to come back. I'm not going to bother your people unless there's a reason beyond this. Can't say how the world will affect me, but in where I'm at, I have no reason to be here other than to say, holy shit, we fucked up.
That you did, but all things considered, you got a piece of my guys got a piece of your guys, so that balances on the scales as far as I'm concerned. But you came in here and sat there and lied to my face. Now that is a debt that is still owed.
Hmm. Well, there's many ways debts can be paid. I'd be
Yes.
interested to
Well,
clear my debts.
I fancy myself a decent reader of people. And I had no inkling that you had ill intents towards me or mine. So, obviously, you're good at what you do when you're doing it. That is a skill that I would like to borrow.
Now, borrow isn't the same as a debt.
Let's just say you complete what I need you for, and then we can talk about what you may want. Of course, you fail, well, then we're back to debt, aren't we?
That is the way of the world, isn't it?
So, you're a con artist.
I can lie. In multiple ways.
Well, I have a business venture. I have many, actually. But I have one that eludes me. And I need someone to help me close that deal.
In what way?
Well, she slides across the table a tablet. She says, there's a little import-export boutique company. Delivers high-end merchandise. I want to own that company. Now, Mr. Bayette, he doesn't want to sell that company to me. Daddy's company and all of that. well, it's not daddy's anymore, but it is his little cash cow that he uses to fund his playboy lifestyle. I have more ambitious goals for that business than Mr. Bayette does. And I'd like to own that business for a good price. Fair price. Not looking to undermine the market. Simply wish to own the business. But he doesn't want to sell to, well, pardon me, a dirty whore. And so my advances have been rebuffed. Well, that's where you come in. We can provide you with everything. A cover LLC that you are operating on behalf of. Of course, the creds to close the deal with. But said corporate holdings will, of course, be shielded within multiple shell companies and ultimately held by, well, us. Simple job, right? Get close to a mark. Convince him to sign his assets over for a fair price. And clear your debt. And, well, possibly earn a little something on the side.
Certainly playing with larger numbers than I'm used to, but...
Too big for you?
I wouldn't say that. I can handle big.
I'm sure you can.
I'm sure you've seen it.
I don't consume the product.
Too busy.
So, do we have a deal?
I think so.
Well then, for the moment, you can feel safe in this club once again.
Thank you. Again, I am sorry for the morons around me.
I hope they won't be too involved in the execution of our deal.
If they... No, they won't.
Good. Well then, I have other business to attend to, Ms. Karen.
Much appreciated, Miss Vivian. I look forward to talking to you again.
Keep me updated.
Will do. Karen gets up and, without looking at anyone else in the bar, in the club, walks out.
As Karen walks out of the club, another slice up the screen. And on the other half, you see, finally, arriving to the shard, our trio.
There gets to that moment in like trying to park where she is like a couple inches from hitting the parking spot and then accidentally just hits the brake a little too hard, and she's like, dang it, I almost had that. And then she slowly releases and manages to finally crawl fully into the parking spot. And she's as close as she can get towards the space, which probably isn't very close. So, yeah, she puts
Give
in
me
park and...
give me a driving check.
Okay. +0, so +1.
You what describe, where have you tried to park?
Okay. In the process, as she's driving, she's trying to like get navigation from Krill. Where is the Ripper Dock located in the Shard?
It's nearby the arena on the central, on the inner ring nearby the arena's gates.
So is it the first, second, third?
I think it was the second floor. That
Shit,
I actually
I'm on the
can't
fucking third, and she like starts to make her way down.
Okay, never mind. You know what? Never mind.
No, Krill can get shit wrong. Kai
Yeah.
can Kai, you know shit. We don't always know shit.
She
Yeah, we can
starts
get shit wrong.
navigating to the second, and then she sees that one parking spot that's like really like somebody's just pulling out. She's like perfect, and as she's doing, somebody turns in front of her and like instantly takes it, and she's like, "Motherfucker!" And she looks at that car, and she rolls down like the right side window, and she just drives like to a farther spot, which isn't like the farthest away, but it's not as close as she wanted, and she's flipping off the guy as she's going. And then she eventually gets that stop and then pulls into the parking spot.
Very constructive, Patty. Very constructive.
The bitch cut me off! You think I'm gonna let him get away with that?
Can we just get Jacob to somewhere safe?
Well, we're parked, and she shuts off the engine.
I now feel safer now the engine is off.
Hey, I got us here, okay? We didn't crash, we didn't hit anything, we didn't cut anybody off more than once. So, fuck you, okay? I got us here.
All right.
Alright.
Jacob, how are you doing back there?
That fucking stop rattled me, but okay. Let's just get fucking going.
Yeah.
Patty opens up, starts opening the door for Jacob, and lights Krill out first. Ah.
Up, up.
Can I have my jacket back, or do you still need it for the rain?
Oh, no, you can take it back, absolutely.
And slips it on. Come on, Jacob.
Slowly but surely, Jacob finds his arm, the good one, wrapped around Patty's as they start walking to said Ripper Dock.
Yep. She makes sure to lock the car, has the keys on her, and she's not taking her medical bag in this instance. She's just going like normal, no armor in this moment, so she just looks like a normal person. And she starts like just helping him hobble over to the Ripper Dock.
Oh, first we gotta get to the gate.
Okay, so so many things have been forgotten since we were last at the Shard. Okay, so first off, you're on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
The breezeway is on the third. So either you go down and cross the street, or you go up and take the breezeway.
To be fair, Patty has never been here, so.
Okay.
And the person that was here is conked out of his fucking mind.
Okay. So.
Patty is just like, you sure it's the second floor? There's like no door entrance here.
No, I was not sure.
You're the navigator. You're supposed to know this shit.
Can your boy do like a noticed roll or something?
Sure. Do it with disadvantage.
I'm just gonna 0. Okay, well.
Do it again.
I'm just gonna do this. And +4. Why?
So you have a notice of 1, which is average. In a parking structure, all the floors look the same.
God damn it.
Krill,
Oh.
not dicking around anymore. She enjoys some chaos. Maybe not. Maybe now is not the time for it. She does actually bring up a full directory of the shard to get an actual heading of where they're supposed to be going.
Give me a roll.
Okay.
-1. I don't know what that's rolling on. Shit.
Well, I'll give it to you as an investigate. So you again, same thing. What you see is a general map of the shard. You are in the parking structure. The breezeway is on level 3. Street level is of course ground. The shard medical facility is inside the shard on the lower level, around past Miss Matsutaka's on the right hand side.
All right, let's get him down. Let's get him downstairs as best as we can safely. There might be an elevator nearby.
This is why you are the navigator, Krill. I'm trusting you because I'm trying to keep us alive driving. I can't pay attention to the fucking map while we're doing this.
I guess. But I also found it quite funny to see you just trying to find any parking spot anywhere
You know,
on its
whatever-
own.
when you get your own
was
fucking
payment.
body, I'm going to teach you how to drive just so you can suffer.
Yes. I take this challenge.
Okay. And Patty starts looking for an elevator. I assume there's like ones on the side that can go down.
They're in the center.
Cool. And she hits the button. Just waiting on it to come. Okay. How you doing, Jacob? You feeling all right?
Fucking, I'll survive. Let's just keep moving.
Ding.
Doors open up, and then heads inside, hits the first floor. Is it like so is the medical center on the first floor, or is it like a lower floor? I'm talking to Krill.
I was told lower level.
Yeah.
I do not know actually what that is in reference to ground floor or not. Second floor? Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
one below.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm assuming the parking lot can't get there. We need to actually go to the main
There-
building.
Mm-hmm. All right. Eventually, elevator opens up. Head out.
Or I'm
And-
wrong and there's an underground tunnel and I'm an idiot.
We'll figure it out. Patty starts heading towards like the entrance to the shard. All right.
The parking structure to the shard is across the street, and on the other side of the promenade, that is the overall entrance and gathering area to the shard that has the gates to the shard at the front of the building. You have a couple 100 meters of open air between this facility and the gates.
We need the car.
We can't. No.
Do you want to walk through all that rain?
Turn around.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Krill just points up. There's a breezeway. Is the breezeway covered? Can we see that from down
It
here?
is, but
That's our route.
but the stairs empty out into the main promenade area that is not covered, so it will cut that distance in about half with cover. But the entrance to the shard is a flat-faced building that has gates on the front, and there is a large courtyard in which they display the fights on a screen across the way, and the steps from the breezeway sweep out and provide benched seating where people watch the fights in an outdoor setting.
All right. give me the keys. I'm gonna go back for the umbrella. You just get Jacob to the Ripper
You already
Dog.
grabbed. Didn't you already grab the umbrella?
I assumed we left it in the fucking car because
No,
it's
we
just-
grabbed it anyways.
No one said shit about the umbrella.
Yeah.
Why did we not grab the umbrella?
like Krill took it to the car at the least. We know that. So
All right, you
Yeah.
stay here with Jacob. Give me 2 minutes.
no, why? You can move him to the Ripper Dock. I can't. You aren't water fucking solvent right now. That's gonna ruin your day. Just I
How
can
are you supposed to get through though?
with an umbrella when I
You
go
think-
back to the car and get it.
Do you see the fucking rain out there? It's up to your fucking ankles.
Patty,
the
which
road,
way do I have to
the
walk
road
through the
surface is
water?
permeable and drains the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it splashes, it hits you, you know.
Just it's better than nothing. Please just give me the fucking keys and take Jacob to the Ripper Dog. We do not need to argue over this.
Are you gonna be okay by yourself? Somebody might try to mug you.
And fucking just, I don't know, they'll end me and everything will be a lot better. I don't care. Just
That
give me
sounds
the
like a
fucking
stupid idea.
keys.
We're sticking together. Come on, Jacob. We're turning back around, and she hits the elevator button again.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm gonna fucking strangle you when I have the proper hands.
Yeah, well, when you have the proper hands, because you didn't fucking, like, overhydrate and shock yourself again.
Do you do that? Do you drink too much water and arc on yourself?
You did?
You
You stepped outside, the rain hit you, and you
Okay.
started sharking. Okay, and now they're starting to head up the elevator
I
again.
was misunderstanding your.
Just as the
Insult.
elevator starts to head up, didn't she also fucking like almost die off a hit of weed?
Yeah, that's the whole point of
That's
getting a new
also
body.
paid for that, by the way.
Hey, you didn't have to suck it in, okay? I kept you alive.
You put it in my fucking respirator ducts.
You didn't have to breathe in that moment. That was your choice, okay? I gave you the option, and you chose the option. You know, if we're really going to blame anybody, blame Jacob. He's the one who had the...
For a medic, you seem to not understand the topic of peer pressure. Also,
I mean,
you-
I have been
I do
frustrated.
not want to argue over this anymore.
Wait, are you telling me you don't consistently peer pressure each other? I mean, I was working out with my friends, and then 2 hours later, I'm upside down drinking 2 whole kegs of beer.
You know, that sounds like a self-control issue, not a us issue.
I'll say I won $50 that night, so, or 50 creds, so, you know, suck it.
Whatever. Look, the car's almost there. Look, the car's right there. You can
Yep. Just get the umbrella.
Umbrella acquired. Holy
Ooh.
fuck, we suck
Okay.
at this.
All right, now let's head back to the elevator, head to the breezeway. Look, come on.
Zooming down, there's now just the silhouette of Krill under what is only could be seen as a novelty restaurant umbrella. Stands out compared to, you know, someone's personal kind as she walks across the foyer.
And start making their way through the breezeway, trying to keep out of the rain as much as possible. Patty's trying to take more of that front position because she's like leading in this instance. Any issues we just managed to get through?
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
And-
get your codex ready.
All right.
There's
She
a-
sets it on and turns on Sparklekins.
Oh, I meant
And-
more because we're gonna have to pay to get in.
Oh, okay, cool. And then she pulls up her credits.
It's a Monday matinee. It's a rainy day. 35 creds per head.
Hey, Jacob, you mind paying our way through?
Yeah, fucking, and then just not even finished in a sentence. Just codex.
Now,
This goes-
real talk. Is this like in those universes where for that split second we see the numbers of what people are working with like slowly shrink for a moment? Did we see anything there?
I would have to roll notice for that.
I mean, I'm going to need rolls from all three. I'm going to need
Okay.
2 from Jacob.
-2.
+2.
I got +1 and -1.
Okay. So that's that. And Patty sees Jack All.
Patty's just trying to keep moving forward in this moment.
Now, these are secured systems. They're not like Hollywood designed devices where you can just see it, right? All that happened was a transaction, right? So, Krill, what you saw was potentially an account number.
Krill will keep this information. In fact, there's just like in her memory banks, just frame by frame snapshots ensuring she's got perfect clear footage of each one of the numbers and letters.
But not a whole account number. Because Jacob, even in his degraded state, is a stealthy motherfucker. And so he just very quickly and so you get a portion of an account number.
I will still use this information.
Patty, in that moment, isn't paying attention at all. She says, I'll have you know, the only reason I have tits today is because someone pressured me into taking hormones, okay?
That doesn't sound like a healthy conclusion to
I'm
one's
not
self-discovery.
It was a good thing in that moment, but what it did make me realize is I wanted tits.
Congratulations?
I mean, I'm cool.
Okay.
The gates
Patty.
the gates turn blue and they ding as you guys fing as you pass through. It's a slow Wednesday afternoon. It's pouring, so a few people have sought refuge in the shard.
Is it Monday matinee or a Wednesday?
Monday.
Monday.
Okay.
So there's some comings and goings, but not much, especially, this time of day. 3:30, 3:45-ish sort of time period, right? As you make your way, I assume to the right, there is the occasional security drone that whizzes over your heads in a circular pattern, going around the arena, doing laps, keeping the location under surveillance. The smells of Japanese cuisine from the right-hand side waft past you from Miss Matsutaka's stall. As you approach what is the Shard Medical Facility, you see, I guess the best way to describe it would probably be for a contextual modern audience, is something akin to an Apple store, but with a little more white than stainless steel. Right? There is, of course, a good old red cross in the middle of the SMF. Boom! Right? And as you walk in, you are greeted by a antiseptic smell. This facility smells like a medical facility.
Oh my god, that smells like... terrible nightmares, but still just a calming sensation.
Not enough blood.
There's a door
It's...
off to the right. There's a desk, a counter, and a framed window with glass that is ensconced. There is a communication device, a speaker, microphone, and the person behind a young female person. It's difficult to get a read on this. It is either a high-end android or a human being who has had a lot of work done. This entity falls uncomfortably in the uncanny valley. There are 3 rows of back-to-back seats. There's just there are some seats against the far wall. There is a center row of back-to-back seats, and there are seats on the right-hand wall as well, and then the door off there to the right leading somewhere back into this facility. As you walk in, there is only one person seated down in this room waiting, and as you approach, you hear sort of across the speaker, "Hi, can I help you?"
Absolutely. We have an appointment for 4:40 with Doc Mag for Jacob Fritz.
I have an appointment at 4 p.m. for a Jacob Fritz.
Oh, well, I'm glad we're early.
Okay. Yes, I will. I just need you to, and a slot opens up and a tablet slides out. I just need you to fill out the patient's information and we'll get you checked in.
Understood. Thank you very much. Can I actually grab a second one of those? We also have the consultation as follow-up after.
Oh, yes. Are you, yes. Are you Krillian?
Yes.
Oh, well, lovely to meet you. Yes, hang on. And there's just a couple of taps at the keys, and the slot opens up again, and a second tablet is dispensed.
Thank you very much. And as Krill walks back to Patty, she just throws the first tablet on her lap. Fill out Jacob's info.
All right.
You'll know what to do.
Yeah, no problem. Patty starts putting in it. She starts trying to like coax out questions from Jacob. Like, you know, she gets all the basic stuff, but then it's like, okay, like, do you want me to like look away when you put your account number?
Yeah, I'll just fucking put it in. Don't worry.
Okay. Do I see the account number as he's putting it in?
I mean, the account number doesn't really go on this tablet. This is patient information.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
If anything, his insurance registration might go on there. If he had any.
So.
Okay.
Real just takes one of her fingers off, plugs into the tablet, and you just see one of the longest lists of current and previous ailments and pains just flooding it really quickly. She all done.
And Patty like takes a couple minutes, but she's eventually able to get through the tablet, and she stands up. You want me to take your tablet, Krill?
Thank you.
All right, no problem. And she takes it, puts it in front of the lady. Here you go.
Thank you. The slot opens back up.
I have a question. So my friend over there, he's getting that whole treatment thing. I was wanting to ask if I could watch.
Are you next of kin, related, guardianship?
No. Good friend.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Normally we don't allow good friends to come in the back. I mean, I suppose I can I can ask the doc, but I'll yeah.
Let's say good friend of the patient, and has some experience with on the ground medical shit. So
Okay, I'll pass that on to the doctor. The nurse will let you know.
All right. What's your name, by the way?
Terrence.
Terrence. Well, I'm saying Terrence, you look great. And she walks off like really quickly after that.
Okay. The data was instantly transmitted. It's just a return of the tablets anyway. As soon as you digitally signed your name at the bottom of the tablets, the data was transmitted over electronically, registered into the system. So, another slice up the screen. And we see a sort of nervous mess of a front desk guy being ushered off to the side, and one Liam coming from the back sales area to greet Dalton out front of the pre-owned vehicle dealership. Dalton. So we're just pulling up front now, are we? All right. Come here. And he pulls you around the corner, back towards his office. Closes the door behind you and says, "You know the owner, huh?"
I've been out of it so long. I don't really know how to engage with the shop anymore. That's totally on me.
I swear to God. Is that so? All right. What kind of work do we need to do to the car?
I want to get my race car upgraded.
Okay.
There's a lot I need done to it. And I just got back into the track. And I need my winnings chopped up into material goods.
Okay, so you want us to chop and sell the car?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'll have my guy take it around back to the shop.
And if I know it's been kind of a rough interaction, but if you could also maybe let me know about some more going ons. I don't have my contacts anymore. It's been such a long time. Any word on any other performance races I could do would be great information if you would be willing to help me.
I mean, are you doing the Friday night runs?
No, I did not remember those. I did a run, but that's it, just one.
I'm really sort of like you are tired as fuck, and I feel like I should handicap you, right? Like I feel like I should provide a handicap here just as a GM for like being kind, because I mean, dear sweet Jesus, you are backing yourself into a corner. And okay, so one, you are doing the Friday night runs.
Okay.
That is what you got access to by doing that test race, right? $2,500 entry fee next Friday night. That's what so you are doing the Friday night runs. I'm also going to be super, super kind here and remind you, he is about to chop up your car.
Okay. I did think I had the other car. I thought I was driving that one.
No. The other car is parked at a parking lot across from the docks waiting for you to pick it up.
Gotcha.
So, I will allow the scene to go forward now that you know what you know, and go from there. And we will wrap this as fast as we can to get you off to bed. But, so, all right, are you doing the Friday night runs?
Yeah, I did one. I'm in the next one. I'm hoping to get a lot more done.
All right. Well, I mean, that's really your starting place. I mean, if you could pick, I mean, like once you're in the Friday night runs, that's where, you know, I mean, start getting dudes numbers and, you know, challenge them to side races and stuff like that. And yeah, fucking turn and burn those cars, right? You get their pink slips and fucking we'll just chop those cars too. All right. All right, so the car out front, we're gonna, I think I might just put it out for sale. Like, how soon do you need the money?
So the car out front is the one I want upgraded. That's my bad. I left mine at the dock. I left the chop one at the docks, but I'll have that one by. I'll have one of my guys bring it by. But if I can start burning cars from other people with you and we can get that reestablished, yeah, I would really like to get back there.
Okay, so what do you have any idea what you want to do to the car you brought?
Yeah, so for now it's pretty good on handling and speed and all that, just any kind of like performance upgrades because it's a little out of sorts from all the years of sitting collecting dust.
Okay, so you just kind of you want us to just give it once over and see where we might want to spec it up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, then I can have that brought back to the shop. We can give that a once over. That's all. I mean, that's all on the up and up anyway. So no worries there. When you bring the car, since you've been so far out of it for so long, I guess I should remind you that don't just park the car out front. Take it around back to the shop. That way we get it off the road and we get it, you know, tucked out back behind, and just go ahead and throw me a message on my comms to let me know it's coming, it's delivered, all right? It's coming, it's delivered. That way I can have the guys ready for it and we can just disappear it fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Jesus. How long do you think until I can start getting compensated for these? I might need raw materials if I can get a little bit of that out of it, but like that's kind of like a extra thing I want to do.
I mean, same day that we get our cash, as soon as we get our creds, You get your creds.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can turn and burn them. The line's established here, usually 24 hours, sometimes less, depending on, if you hit us, early in the morning with it, then, we can turn that by that evening. But you drop a late nighter on us, it might be 24 hours.
Okay, I can start getting pink slips and dropping off pretty much immediately. I'm basically just trying to burn as many as I can to get as much back as I can as fast as possible. I'm kind of close to running a deficit at this point.
All right, yeah, no, we can do that. All right, so you want me to just hang on to the car out front then?
Yeah, I'll get another ride home. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, then I have, I gotta go smooth things over with the front desk because it's kind of, we're doing kind of a, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into it. Sure. Yeah. Till next time.
Perfect.
Liam again opens his door and, yeah. Bring it into the shop. Yeah, we're gonna give it a once over. Okay. All right, man. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And it's good to see you again. I know kind of rough edges at the beginning here, but I'm looking forward to doing business with you again.
We'll see if we can't get you out of that deficit.
Perfect.
And some money in my pocket.
Hey, win-win as far as I'm concerned.
He sort of Liam sort of edges you out of the dealership door and kind of closes it. As he does that, as the door closes on Dalton, what do you do, Dalton?
Dalton's gonna start heading down the street like a calm and easy pace walk, like he's got nowhere else to be, and once he gets to the corner, it's gonna summon a new car. Actually, not a new car. He's calling back the Supra.
Okay. What's that actually look like?
Bleach white.
No. The process of calling it back. Because as such, nobody's ever seen you do it.
That's true. So, pulls out his codex. Sends a message out to the ether. And just stands there like he's waiting for a cab.
One Supra pulls up. As the Supra pulls up, does anyone get out of it?
Yes. The one thing that Dalton still has and never really lost touch with is just this network of small scale drivers that he has bringing him stuff. They're low end racers, and he basically uses the clout that he's built up from his old race days to keep these young wannabe cool racers doing him favors.
As the foot comes out of the car and the door opens, the camera slides back to Karen. Where did Karen go after lost innocence?
Yeah. No. Yes, where did Karen go? Not back to the base. Not back home. Karen goes back to the main central hub. The one near the base.
Okay. Central Station it is. What's Karen doing there?
She's just sitting. She showed up, she found a bench off to the side, and she's sitting. She has her codex out and is kind of half poking at it, but mostly just watching, trying to keep an eye out for any kids around.
Give me a roll.
-3. Jesus.
With a -3 total to that notice.
I feel like I'm sitting alone.
Karen, I think, gets lost in her thoughts a little bit. Right? While she sits down with the intent of trying to keep an eye out for children. There's a lot going on in Karen's head, right? I mean, she just revealed Karen revealing anything about herself is a bit of an issue anyway for Karen, and she just had a heart-to-heart with Jigu, right? She just revealed a portion of herself to him, right? She just sort of stepped out, and over these past, week, she sort of took this exploratory step into working with a team and taking that chance. And the first thing that happens is it bites her in the ass, right? But in response to that, she immediately steps back into her comfort zone. So she's got 1 foot out there in the ether. She's got 1 foot back in her comfort zone. She's showing a piece of herself to a young kid, but he's not quite a kid. She opened up a little bit, and then she closed right back down and went back to her defaults, right? And now she's got a fucking lead, a lead on something that has got numbers attached to it that are big numbers for what Karen has been saddled up to recently. Right? These aren't exactly the numbers she'll be pulling, but they are the numbers that she's playing around with. Lines of credit and on behalf of sort of deal, right? She's got a lot of these sort of irons in the fire moment as she's sitting there in Central Station as bodies are just sort of blurring into just movement in the background. While Karen doesn't see, what the audience sees on the other half of that blur is the camera just sort of sees from Karen's perspective and then rotates up and down 180 degrees on the other side. What you see is several children working the crowd. You see multiple codexes being taken. You see multiple items coming out of purses. You see all sorts of goods being lifted. What you do notice is that they seem to be focusing on travelers today, not so much storefronts. So it seems that maybe a piece of some sort has been brokered in this facility. As those blurs start to take over the screen again. What's Karen doing? What's she thinking? Where is she?
She wants to break something. But fucking usually fixes that too. Karen wants to get laid. With that realization internally of, I'm done sitting here, I'm done waiting, I'm done thinking like that, Karen stands up and walks out, heading sort of towards her apartment in that general direction, but focusing on storefronts. Waiting until she can find one with somebody just walking out of a men's store, some sap, some lonely sap, any.
As that occurs, the camera sort of detaches as we just hear Karen sidle up to a guy walking out of a store as she approaches him and says, "Hey there." And the camera just pulls off of them as you just see, as it fades off into the distance, Karen slide her arm through his as she goes to work. And as the camera pulls away, it snaps back to a medical room, a sterile medical waiting room. A nurse comes out and says, "Mr. Jacob Fritz?"
Up here. He's over here.
No. Stay seated, honey.
No,
Stay
no.
seated, honey.
Yeah.
She spins back around and she comes back out with a wheelchair.
All right,
And
come
it's-
on, come here, Jacob. Let's get you up.
Yeah, motor-assisted wheelchair. She just,
Just do that classic shuffle, put him in the seat.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
I'll take him from here.
Did the doc say it was cool to watch?
Not that I'm aware of. I'll speak to him, and if he says that you can come back, I'll come get you.
All right, thanks.
She
Never gonna talk to him, is he?
she takes Jacob. Jacob, as she takes you back to the door closes behind her. She goes, "Okay, Mr. Fritz, I'm Nurse Joy. I'll take care of you today." She wheels you into exam room 1. And she's like, "Okay, you can just wait in the chair. It's fine. And the Doc Mac will be with you in a second." She's like, "I'll be back to take your vitals. Don't go anywhere." And she walks out, and she comes back. She's got simple blood pressure cuff. The old classics still work, even in the future. She's got a little probe for temperature, heart rate. She just runs it across your forehead, straps your arm, gets your blood pressure. She's like, "So what's going on with you today? Why are we seeing you?"
I got knocked out. And is there a scar that he could show her from the fucking?
Oh yeah, I see here on your chart. Yeah, don't move around too much, sweetie.
You've got like specifically listed severe concussion, the amount of time he's been awake in order to meet the 72-hour mark, and the current time frame, in addition to the details of the torn ligament and muscle.
It seems whoever filled out your chart did it fairly competently. It's the ordering is probably a little could use some work, but there's more than enough information here. Yes, you just wait here, sweetie. And she pats you gently. You just take a second. Okay, yeah, we'll be right back. And as she closes the door, boom, all of a sudden it's nighttime, an eternal night. And we see Rez, we see Exile, and we see Troy. Rez in her blue outfit, in her purple outfit with her matching purple irises that just ever so flicker in the night, in the eternal night of the net. Exile in his leather jacket and his katana, his wakizabi, right? he's all three of you walking down an industrial alleyway as you are silhouetted against a giant building that says Taylor Designs in illuminated letters, golden letters in the sky, and digital palm trees in front of the building, and searchlights going off with high walls. As you can see, as you three are silhouetted against this, you can see a sentry turret and a watchdog go by in front of you.
This is Wordy. I play Patty. Watch us play more games and be more fuck ups at Influx. Subscribe and hit that like button.